players that wouldn't be as usable in FIFA, usable this year. If you learn it in FIFA 23, you'll be good at it in FIFA 24, 25.
Yeah, it rarely changes.
2 tips for the price of 1.
But one tip I would advise.
You won't see this in the game. Hello guys, welcome back to the XL FIFA channel. Today is a very, very good video if I do say so myself. 5 tips to get to the Elite Division brought by one of the best pro players in the world and Gorilla as well. So hopefully you'll enjoy it. I don't think he's clocked what I've said. I don't think he's realised. If you want me to lead in, then you can just interrupt.
Yeah. That's what I do anyway.
Tip number 1, scoring more goals using the Trivela shot.
It's probably one of the best mechanics this year, obviously a brand new feature, and it's probably best with the players like Kevin De Bruyne. You know, really good long shots, and it's quite easy to do as well, isn't it?
When you play some people in weekend league that just drop back, sit on the edge of their own box, it's the perfect long shot to make them have to think about something else.
It's similar to the finesse shots last FIFA. Obviously, finesse shots are still viable, but with the Trivela, it's quite easy to do. Just go into the practice arena, get used to them. It'll give you a few more goals on the weekend league as well.
My main tip with the Trivela is just learn the angle. Do it over and over again and you'll pick up what angle it is. And then as soon as you've got that angle, it is very, very simple. You literally just L2, circle shot, bang.
1-0. Tip number 2 is mastering player switching, one of the most fundamental things that you need to do to get better at defending.
I think the best way of mastering it is being able to use the L1 and the right stick.
Yep.
Because the L1 calls the player that's closer to the ball. But the right stick, you can kind of do it in advance. So, I don't know, if someone's going down the wing and you know they're going to cross it to the back post, if you use L1, you're not going to switch to the centre-back to mark it. But if you manage to use the right stick, that's where you can master it and intercept the cross. You just got to be comfortable using L1 and right stick. There's no real right place for either of them.
No, I get asked it a lot, especially in my stream chat, like when do you use L1, when do you use the right thumbstick? There's not really an answer to that, it's just whatever's more comfortable in the situation that plays ahead. But one tip I would advise is in your settings, in your controller settings, there is a player indicator for the next player. So for example, when you're in a game, it will kind of have like a faded icon above the player that if you press L1, it will switch to that player. So that will give you a little bit of a help as well, so you know which player it's going to switch to. So if you go into the settings and find that, turn that on, that should give you a little bit of help as well.
2 tips for the price of 1. I think with player switching, it's the kind of thing that transfers to every FIFA as well. So if you learn it in FIFA 23, you'll be good at it in FIFA 24, 25.
Yeah, it rarely changes.
Tip number 3 is to use lengthy players. It is a new accelerate type that they've brought in for new gen. And it basically makes players that wouldn't be as usable in FIFA, usable this year.
Basically what lengthy does, it makes them quicker. Their strides are a bit longer, would you say, a bit more emphasised, which in FIFA translates to them being faster. So you have lengthy, you have controlled, and you have explosive. Now, personally, I feel like your back 4, all of them need to be lengthy, fullbacks included. You can get away with a few that aren't lengthy in the final third, but make sure you have a few players such as, you know, Haaland and stuff like that, if you can afford him, because it will make your players quicker and you won't be complaining about them getting caught up by every defender in the game.
They accelerate longer over a period of time.
Yep.
It's not like over the first 5 or 10 yards, it's over like 30 yards when they get quicker. So try and make sure you're using players that have, what do we say, 15 more strength and agility. The way to do this is chemistry styles, because if they have +10, you can add another +5 on chemistry styles. You won't see this in the game, but the way of doing it is through community-based databases.
Yep.
How many times can I say base in one sentence?
Maybe one more time.
I like the bass. I like the buttery biscuit bass.
Tip number 4 is using lofted through balls. Now you have 2 variations, just a normal one where you send your player on a run, you time it with the defender and they're through. The second one, which Tom is an absolute master at, is the first time ones.
The best way of doing this is having 2 strikers. So you have a 2-striker formation. You use L1 to trigger 1 striker.
Yep.
So the left striker will get running. As soon as you play it to the right striker, just first time L1, R1 triangle. And I promise you, not many players will be able to read it. And even if they do, it's basically impossible to stop.
Yeah. When you're sending the left striker, for example, on a run, the opposition will be concentrating on that run because that's the danger area. Quite hard to defend because you can't mark both situations.
And you know what? We're being so nice to you with these tips, yeah? Firstly, you need to subscribe if you haven't already. The XL FIFA channel is here. We're going to be doing this all year.
Yep.
Secondly, it actually links in with point 3 very well. The first time through balls are even better with lengthy players run on the end of it. So you can imagine you send the first time through ball to Haaland, he hasn't read it. Haaland is much quicker than any centre back on the game because he's got the lengthy accelerator.
You're not catching him, no chance.
It's cash money every time.
Yeah, easy.
Tip number 5 is going to be using the tackle button. It is as simple as that. Tackling this year is much better because the ball doesn't go back as much. Give me a physical defender.
Van Dijk.
Van Dijk.
Yeah.
These kind of players, the big physical centre-backs, if you use the tackle button, they will win the ball a hell of a lot this year. Even from behind at times,
Yeah.
they'll win the ball.
You do have to time it though. Don't just press tackle anywhere.
That is not your message. Just spam circle 100 times when defending. Practice mastering the right time to press tackle, the right time to win the ball. It's definitely a good feature this year, something that I'd highly recommend. And the new feature, double tap second man press.
Yeah,
this is the spend trick. I don't use it too much, but I've seen you use it.
Yeah, not a lot of people use it. I think it's quite a good one, to be honest. When I've committed a fullback, which, you know, I do quite a bit.
It's every time he defends.
When I'm defending on the wing and I need to mark the middle, I double tap R1 and the AI on my team should mark the run of the opposition's players in the middle. But you'll see it on screen. I'm hoping that makes sense.
I didn't actually really know that. I know how it's done, but I didn't really use it. So
You can't do it in TV2 though, so...
I've got my little notepad out here.
Yeah, genuinely, it was good. So there were 5 tips for you to get to the Elite Division. If you want any more help or any more advice on whether it's stuff that we talked about or stuff that we haven't mentioned as well, do let us know in the comments down below and we'll be sure to help, because that's what we're here for. But make sure you like the video, subscribe, because we have plenty more content to come on the XL FIFA channel. But until next time, bye-bye.
Goodbye.